Hello, friends. Let's start with chapter number 10. Uh, and In this chapter, we will see different types of action result in ASP.NET MVC. So far, we have used action result uh, result only. We have seen in our previous all sessions, right? Okay, so in this session, we will see there are different kind of action result we can return from like our view, sorry, our action method, and we will see these things here. Okay, so in ASP.NET MVC has different types of action result. Each action result returns a different format of output. A programmer may uses different action results to get expected output. Action results return the result to view the page for the given request. Okay, so we have seen like action result or action method returns the result to the current view, right? Okay, so this is the diagram. It demonstrate these things. Okay, so the definition of action result is like it is a result of action methods or return types of action methods. Action result is an abstract class. It is base class for all type of action results. So basically, action result is the base class, and it is a abstract base class, and it is inherited into the different action result. So we will see this hierarchy also. Okay, so here is the hierarchy. We can see that action result is the base class, and then view, partial view, redirect. These are different type of result which are inherited from this class. Okay, so we have like content, file, redirect to action, kind of these things. Okay, so here is the example, means how we can use action result. Okay, so we will see these things. So there are different types of action result. These are like view result, partial, redirect, then redirect to action, redirect to route, then JSON, file result, content result. Okay, so let's start with the like view result. We will see these things. So let's flip to Visual Studio. So here I am going to take again a new project. So let's take a new project. Okay, so here I am taking MVC project. Let's add a new controller here. So take a empty controller. I'm giving name like diff action results. Okay, let's add this. Okay, so I'm setting this controller name to the our route config. Okay, in the URL pattern. So here we can see that we have that default index method here, action method here, and it is having return type as action result. If I hover on these things, you can see that it is showing it is coming from class system.web.mvc.f action result. Okay, so let's right click on this and go to the definition. Okay, so here if you go to definition, we can see that action result is the base class. Okay, and it is abstract class, right? It is having this protected action result method which we are overriding in our project, right? Actually it is constructor, and whenever we are using that abstract class, it is like initializing the basic whatever the properties which are given inside this. Then it has one more method, that is execute result, right? Which is having controller context as an object, right? Okay, this is what we have seen here uh, in the example. This in this example, right? Okay. So first type is like view result is the basic view result and it returns basic result to view page. View result can return data to view page through which class is defined in the model. Okay, view page is the simple HTML page. Here view page has .cs HTML extension, right? So here basically they have used view result, right? And it will return whatever that means data we have returned from the action method, right, to the view result, right? So let's flip to Visual Studio. So this is base class action result, and okay, let's use first type, that is view result. Uh, so I'm using here view result. Okay, and method will be like view example, right? And it will return the view. Uh, by default, it will return the view which is we have like binded to this action, but we can provide the view name also, right? So it will return that view only. This view it will return, right? As I said, the action result is the base abstract class, and these are inherited classes from this abstract class, right? If you will go to the definition of view result, go to definition. Okay, so you will find it. View result is the class which is inherited from view result base, and if you go to definition of these things, you will find it. The view result base class is the abstract class, right? And it is inherited from action result. And as we said, action result is the base class of all the result classes, right. This is how the hierarchy is. So basically it will return, let me open that controller. So basically it will return that view which is binded to that action result, right? So so we are not going to see these things in detail because we have seen these things so many times. Now second type is like partial view result. So uh, in the partial view chapter, we have seen how we can like return the partial view from the action method, right? So we can use that partial view result return type. I am just using it, but I am not going to like do any practicals against these things, right? Partial view result. So we can use this return type, and we have to give some name, right? And here we have to return partial view, then only it will work, right? So let's say partial. Okay, and we have to pass that partial view name, right? So it will return that partial view. We don't have any partial view right now added here, but we can add this into the shared folder starting with hyphen underscore, right? So for example, demo partial, right? So it will return that partial view result. Okay, now next type is action result. So we have seen action result means so many times. Okay, so here we have like redirect to action result, and we have redirect result. Okay, so let's try this once. Let's use this code. I will say redirect view example, right? Now we can use that redirect return type, and here we have to pass our URL. So here they have given like home/contact. Now in our case, what we can do, we can say like different action results is our controller name, right? So we can say this slash uh, okay, so this slash we can say like our any method. So we have created view for this. So let's try for these things. It is showing some error. We have to see what is that. Okay, okay, we have to change this type, right? So here we have to use redirect result, right? Then only it will work. So what we are doing here, we are redirecting this view to this location. So this method is here, right? So let's have a debugger here and let's run this method. So I'm putting one debugger here also. Let's set this in the our root config file. Okay. So basically, when the page will load, it will call this method, right? This action method. Then it will go here and it will find this redirect to redirect method and it will find this parameter. So it will find that controller and action. This is what we are expecting, but let's see if it works or not. Let's run this. Okay, it has called that method. Now we are expecting it should return this URL. Okay, so you can see that now it has gone to that view result because it has found that controller and that action. So this is how we can use redirect result that action result. Okay, so it will basically load that view. Okay, so this is how we can use redirect result. Okay, now next is like redirect to action result. So the difference between that two method is like in this case we have to pass the URL as a parameter, but in this case we can pass separate parameter for controller name, action name, these things. Okay, so let's use this too. Just let's copy paste it. Okay, so return type must be an action result, right? Okay, name we can say redirect to action and use let's use this method redirect to action, right? So this method is having some parameter. If you can see that it is having 6 overloads, right? So we will use second overload string action name object root value. Then third overload we have like action name then controller name. So action name I'm giving some action name. So again we will call this action only. Okay, then controller name we have to give the controller name as a separate parameter. So let's take this and do that. So these are string parameters. So make sure you will give this parameter in the string format, right? Okay, let's run this method. Let's put it in the our root config. Let's run it. Okay, so this action is loaded, so it will redirect our application to this view. Sorry, this action and this controller, right? So it has redirected here, right? Then we will get the result from that action only. Okay, so this is how we can use it. Now next type is JSON result. So ultimately JSON result returns action result only. only it will return into the JSON format. So let's see these things also. Let's copy paste this again. So I will say JSON. Okay. So return type will be action result only. Only we have to return that JSON, right? So I will explain these things. Here we don't have that person class defined. Let's see if we have this model here. Okay, not an issue. We will define it. Okay. Let's define this class public. That class name. Okay. It is having some properties. So integer this. Then we have like first name, then last name, right? Which is having string type. Okay, so it is defined. Let's put it at the top. We can put it there also because ultimately it is inside the that namespace only, right? So let's rebuild the application. So we have rebuilt it. Now basically what is happening here? We have created one object of that uh, person list of object of that person class, right? And it is having this two values. First is like ID, then Harry and Potter, right? And second is like James, Raj, right? And what we have done, we have created that list of values here, and we are returning this list of values to this JSON result view, right? So it will return this data into the JSON format to the browser. So we will see if it works or not. Okay, so let's put it in the root config. So let's run it. Okay, so here it will create list of object of that person class. So we are having two objects here in the list. Now here we have used JSON method, which is having first parameter as your model, right? Or your object list of object or your generic object, and second parameter is like JSON request behavior dot allow get. So which type of method we are going to handle using this JSON object? So this is what we have defined here. Okay, let's see what it returns. Okay. So you can see that on the browser we have got list of object that uh, return using that JSON method type, right? JSON return type method. Okay. So this is how we can use this thing, right? So we have got this list of object here return, right, to the browser. So here I will show the parameter of this method. So these are like method name is JSON. Okay. And first parameter is like object data, right? It has some overloads, and second parameter is which type of request method, means HTTP verb request you have to handle. So it has a different kind of HTTP verbs like allow get, allow post kind of things. Okay. So the first parameter was like our object. So let's add it persons. Okay, this is our object, and then JSON request behavior dot. This is actually enumeration, and it is having different kind of these things. You know, allow get and deny get. So allow get means what? It will allows the HTTP get method. If you will say deny get, so it will not work for HTTP get method, right? So these are the two values which we have given inside that enumeration. If you will right click and go to definition, you will find it is defined as a enumeration, right? And it is having these two: allow get equal to 0 and allow get equal to deny get equal to 1 value, right? So these are the parameters which are given to that method. Okay. Okay, so next type is another reason result, sorry, example they have given. They have just like written that data into the one variable, and they have written that variable. The same thing they have done, but they have done using that variable, right? Now next type is file result. So in file result, basically we can return any kind of file from like our server to our view. Okay, so let's see how it works. Let's take action result here. So we have to return action result only. So this is the base class of these things. Then we have to result file result, right? So here we will give some file name. So we have that file here already. So we are making the use of existing file. Let's see if it is loaded on the server or not using file result. So first parameter is my file name, and second parameter is like type. So we are saying like text, okay? And here file view, right? Let's have a debugger here, or we can add this to the our root config file. Let's let's add it here. Let's run it. I have not added view to this return type, right? We are just like returning the file. That's why. So it has written that file to the browser, right? So this way we can like return any notepad file or any wordpad or any word document also. We have to just mention the type, in which type we are like returning the data, right? So there might be different kind of types here. So I'm not sure on this. You guys can Google like for this type, and we have to find what are the all other like types we have given, right? If you go to definition, if you go to definition, you will find it. It is having a file path result as a return type, and we are giving like file name as a string parameter and content type as a string parameter, right? So you can find what are the different content types are available for this file method, right? Okay, let's go to next. Next is content result. So content result returns different content format to view. So MVC returns different format using content returns like HTML format, JavaScript format, and any other. So we can like return contents using content result, right? So let's try this. So it is content result, right? So we have to use that content method, and here what we have done, we have returned the script to the our action result, right? So it is having the script data. So inside script tag, we are basically having one alert. Okay, so let's see if it works or not. Let's put it into the root config. So it will return different types of content. So you can see that we got that alert message here. Welcome to all, which we return using that content view, right? Means using these things, we can return different type of what we can say JavaScript, or we can return HTML also. Let's see if we can return some HTML, uh, content HTML, right? We will try this once. So I will say h1, then slash h1, right? Hi, this is h1 tag. Okay, so we will try this if it works or not. Let's run it. We will have to give the that controller name, then slash action name. Okay, so we got it, and it is exactly the same as we like given in the return type, right? If you go to inspect element, you will find it like it has written h1. Hi, this is h1 tag, right? So this is how it returns these things, means this content to the our action result. Okay, to our view. If you right click on this page, and if you will say view page source, so you will find it has written that h1 HTML tag, right? Now what else type we have? Okay, so these are the different types, means which we have given in our uh, different action result which we have given in our MVC. So I think we have covered most of the action result type. You guys also can like go through this video, and as well as you guys can like Google these things. You can explore more things, which means if they have given like more parameters or more options. As we have seen for file result, we have used text, but there might be like a different kind of type, uh, content type. So you guys like Google these things and try these things. Okay, so this all was in this session, and it is done.